Targeted individuals, TI, and the gang stalkers. This is mainly what this radio broadcast is about. What people don't really understand is that TIs is the exact same thing Stalin did. It's the same thing Mao did, and it's the same thing Hitler did. They send out people and they say, okay, sign up for this program. Now, they've profiled everyone through corporation tests. What these TIs are people that the grid doesn't work on. Now, you have your opinion, I have mine. But you're in a grid. Power lines, cell towers, cell phones, pulsating microwave, radiation pumping devices in your house, car. Heck, you ride a motorcycle, and that thing literally will take your muscles and just cramp them up because you're sitting on the battery, and that battery's emitting all type of radiation. And I know you might think, oh, this guy's paranoid. Once you take that journey and you're a victim, you're a targeted individual, I believe you have two choices. You can choose to seek revenge, hate, and fear. Or some of these targeted individuals, like myself, are traveling towards God and truth. And every day, it's like they're getting smarter and smarter. They become wiser and wiser. You have a Buddha type mentality, a Jesus Christ type mentality. You're living in a world that is upside down. I wouldn't even doubt if they turn the earth upside down from a pole shift. The Republican Party during the Bush administration turned the stars upside down, which is the symbol of the five-pointed star, which is the symbol of Jesus Christ on a cross. That's what's on the flag. Israel is the double helix. And people don't understand that Israel is the most evil corporation of the Rothschilds that's ever existed. They're just going from nation to nation to nation, from Palestine. It doesn't matter. Just bombing and killing and murdering and plowing up the farms. They're the most tyrannical organization that's ever hit the planet. They kill more people than Hitler. I don't even know what the world population is right now. I'm sure it's not 6 billion anymore because they're depopulating. And what's so amazing about targeted individuals is these egotistical, fear-mongering people that sign up for this CIA program. I mean, you go right to the CIA website and sign up for it. And then there's private corporations that you can sign up for their program. What you don't understand is when you sign up for this program, you are turning on your own nation. CIA has nothing to do with America. It's more of an Israeli corporation. It's the same corporation that blew up 9/11. The same corporation that owns the media, that lies to you every day. The upside down cross. That's what the media is. The opposite of the truth. Jerry Seinfeld, Mr. Jew, did a television program to where George did the opposite. One of the most intriguing shows that I've ever seen. Very well planned, very well crafted show. Even Elaine became George. In other words, he transferred his dirty energy to her. Satanistic energy. So that's when you sign up for these programs, this is what you're signing. You're signing up for the upside down cross, my friend. The opposite of Jesus Christ. Do you honestly believe that Jesus would sign up for a mind-altering program to surveillance his own people? Do you think that's what Jesus would do? I mean, we're supposed to live our lives reaching for the light, like the tree of life, every day, right? How are you reaching for the light, the tree of life, every day when you're surveillancing people based on a record that some foreign bank corporation created? They actually created the bad credit report. They created the phony criminal records. They created that work history, that scarred work history that has nothing to do with reality. If you ask the person, they have a completely different story. And they're telling the truth. Well, you see, what this nation wants to do is they want to create terrorists within their own countries. So they're targeting individuals and they're harassing them. They don't even need to touch them. They don't need to go shoot them. They need to kill them. They need people who are going to post videos just like what I'm doing today that are going to tell the truth, because what they've done is they turn the nation upside down with their medias. Right now, I'd say 88% of America lives upside down. They get all their information from people. They're friends. And all their friends are wrong. They go to doctors and they say, give me some advice. Well, the doctor signs a Hippocratic oath to obey Mr. Rockefeller. And Rockefeller, whole organization is IG Farben. That means poisoning people to make profits. Poison, murder people. Give them poison. Give them a slow death. And during that slow death, they're just going to keep giving you your money. That's what the dental industry is. They injected you with an injection that your teeth don't grow back anymore. You spend all your money at the dentist office. Look at the symbol if you don't believe me. Look at the serpent strangling the tree of life. You got the rings of Saturn, which is Satanism, worship of Saturn. And then you've got the pyramid, which is also a symbol of mind control, MK Ultra. Look, the pyramids were mind control radio frequency generators. They were located on high-level latitude and longitude lines of the planet, just like cell towers are today. That's where they hook up all their MK Ultra stuff, their mind-altering radio frequencies that attract the television signal, the kymatical signal that overlays and then mind controls the people that don't have God in their lives. And the targeted individuals are the ones that have God in their lives. These are the ones that are outspoken. They're not afraid to speak. They're boisterous. They're naturalists. They're nature lovers. They're people like Jesus. You are not only turning on your own country, not only are you breaking constitutional law, some of you out there are surveillancing people, but you believe in gun rights. Well, how can you believe in gun rights and then surveillance your own people? You don't believe in the Constitution. They've actually talked you into breaking the Constitution while you're trying to stand for it. That's how ignorant you have to be to surveillance your neighbor or to infiltrate or to target an individual. Look, they've collapsed our jobs. They've collapsed our economy. And all of a sudden, you've got this job, this title that you can't talk about. You work for the secret CIA. It gives you these bragging rights and it gives you a cult. See, the religions taught you to join cults, gangs. That's what a religion is. It's just a gang. It's a cult, an organization to separate you from the masses. This one hates this one. The Mormons hate the Catholics, which they're both owned by the same people, Rothschild, same corporation. It's kind of like CNN and Fox. They're both owned by the same investors. They both have the same agenda, is to create fear in America, to separate you from God and truth. I mean, that's their ultimate goal. And I've talked to people that they worship Fox News. What is Fox News? Don't you understand Ted Turner? He wants depopulation. These people believe that they have to depopulate people. They've got to get rid of people. They're not going to tell you about the secret free energy that's floating all over the place. 60 billion people could live on this planet, no problem. All they have to do is expose the real Tesla free energy technology, the energy that's just exploding when you see a superstorm or a storm or a thunderstorm. There's so much energy up there. It's just in abundance. And that's what lightning is. That's what thunder, the remnants of the energy, the sound, the kymatics of the energy. You take on a project, have a certain person that you target. Well, they've already put gas and this odorous stuff in my home. I had to rip out the carpet to get rid of it. How can you do that to someone? How can you put something, a gaseous poison, in someone's house that causes them nauseousness, pain, suffering? How can you surveillance someone and make them suffer? Turn them into these paranoid, schizophrenic people. Of course, you would be paranoid if everybody was surveillancing you. Who wouldn't be? If everywhere you went, somebody was following you around. And what's so amazing, but the police are in on it. The serving and the protectors. You see the star on your chest? Most of you have that 5- and 6-pointed star on your chest. It's been turned upside down. It's crooked. It's unbalanced. That's what Freemasonry is. And you people that work for the power and the electric companies, and the television networks, all you're doing, they've created a grid. Just like the pyramids. The pyramids weren't just in Egypt like the media wants you to believe. They were all over the planet. They were in Mexico. They were in America. They were all over. They were strategically located And it was mind control. I've got a painting that I know was printed in 1985. And I know that it was painted prior to that. And it shows Jesus being sacrificed. I did a video on this. I showed the painting. And there's a chemtrail. What is a chemtrail? A chemtrail is a microwave generating frequency. It is a metal that, number one, increases the radiation of smart meters, increases the radiation of all the radiation pump devices that's all over. I mean, it's located all over your city. Even your power lines are radiation pumping devices. That's why they don't put the electricity underground where it belongs. How dumb do you have to be to place electrical grids in the air? I mean, it kills the birds, kills everything. It's a murdering device. Not only that, why is it in the air? Well, the storms come and the winds and the damage. You're constantly fixing it and replacing it. If you're an intelligent person and you want to create a grid, you put it underground. If you want to transfer power, number one, you make it the same energy frequency as the Earth. It runs off of not an alternating current. It runs off of a consistent current. Alternating current is to where they can pulse microwave radiation. That's all it is. Study Einstein, and when you study Tesla, Edison, you study this, what they created is a grid, a weaponry grid, a mind-controlling grid. What gang stalking is they've targeted individuals that don't conform to the grid. It's the movie Matrix just made all over. It's the movie Avatar also, that everything's connected. You see, the people that are connected to the planet are the enemy of the grid. In Avatar, the grid came from another planet, and they infiltrated, what do they call the Na'vi? They look like something different, and they DNA manipulated, and they infiltrated, and now all of a sudden they're walking around, and they look like you, or look like them. But what they found out in the end is the planet is the all-powerful. Who won the war? It wasn't the people who signed up for the CIA. They were killed by the Earth, by the planet. The planet said, hey, we're going to all join forces and we're going to get rid of this MK Ultra gang stalking virus. And yeah, a lot of people died, just like Luke chapter 21. Your family, your friends, everybody will turn against you. But don't worry, eternally, not a hair on your head will be harmed. Basically says in a nutshell. And not only that, God says he'll judge you by your heart. If you're gang stalking people and you die in sin, what do you think God's going to judge you? Of course he judges you by your works. You've been gang stalking his people. You've been terrorizing them. You've been crucifying them just like Jesus Christ. Why do you think they don't want you to touch the individual? Because God says, don't touch my people. But they're going to create as much pain and misery as they can without touching them. They're going to try to turn them against God without touching them. It's the no-touch rule. And the true people of God, they're tortured. Remember, Jesus suffered more in the Garden of Eden than he did physically. Spears, and thorns, and whips, and carrying a cross. All that was nothing compared to his heart. And what MK Ultra, what this gang stalking thing is about, is attacking the heart of the individual. Making them suffer just like Jesus Christ. Guys, everything in the Bible is a coded message. And if you have anything to do with gang stalking, if you're signed up for these programs, I will promise you, you will live eternally and by God's judgment, the worst judgment that he gives, I promise you. I would imagine the person like Judas Iscariot that betrayed Jesus, and the people who denied Jesus, and the people who screamed, crucify him, soldiers, which are today's modern day police, threw spears and whipped him and put thorns on his head, made fun of him and spit on him. I'm sure they are in a horrible, horrible place. I wouldn't want to have anything to do. You see, everything is about the genetic code. If you do evil like that, there is something wrong with your DNA. You have to fix yourself. Your DNA is flawed. And you're not. You want so bad to be as strong and as mentally heart and mind like the people that you're stalking. You hate these people because There's something that you're not, you'll never be until you give your life to God. Then you can be just like them. But you want to seek the path of the road that is highly traveled. The road less traveled is the one that they take. The one that's highly traveled, which is complete sin. You're going to try to become like them within sin by being the enemy of God. I taught martial arts. There is no way to get to power without sacrifice. No way. You have to commit yourself to one pure energy in order to break boards. You have to be fearless in order to break bricks. Fearless. When you strike that brick, you have to know in your mind that that brick is going to break. And with 100% confidence, no fear whatsoever, no thoughts of evil can flow through your body. I can teach people how to break things. I've taught people how to break things. And to me, it's not about breaking a brick. It's about overcoming fear. It is a training exercise to overcome fear. You people that are gang stalking people, you live in fear. You will never be as powerful as the people that you're gang stalking. Just because you're reading a phony record that's created by a foreign country to take your land back, the United Kingdom and the British and these bankers, they've been wanting this country, America, for years. They own your house. They control the money and the lending. They control the banking industry. They control the media. But this is not their land. It's our land. If you gang stalk and create terrorists within your own country, what are you doing? Why are you selling out your own country? Your children live here. Let me tell you something. When these people take your land, they're going to turn it into an oil refinery. It will not be America. Right now, there's so much poverty in America, it's unbelievable. There are people walking around picking up tin cans. Homeless. You know Jesus Christ was a homeless man, Mr. Police Officer? And who do you serve and protect? You serve and protect the wealthy. Your car is parked at Walmart every day. Your cars are parked at the banks. You're at the malls. Have you noticed that? Or have you not consciously awakened? Was December 21st the end of the planet that never came? Or was it an awakening period? It was an awakening. You see, you have to understand something. These calendars are very real. We travel, and you cannot deny this, you people that signed up for this program. We traveled around the Milky Way galaxy. And the sun and the earth follows the sun around this galaxy. And in the center of the galaxy, there's a pure energy. You can't reach that pure energy unless you evolve, ascend to God. You have to evolve. You can't stay behind. You can't become a vampire. You know how the medias want vampires and werewolves and eternally dead. And look what they did to Michael Jackson. Demons coming out of the ground. And all of a sudden, when he started singing, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, then he was a pedophile to the media. And those weak-minded people actually believed that this man was a pedophile. He wasn't a pedophile. He was a godlike person with a godlike gift that the Illuminati were using him. And whenever he decided to have a conscience and do the right thing for the people, to love the people, just like there's no difference between him and Martin Luther King, JFK, RFK, even John. Malcolm X. I mean, I can go Gandhi. I mean, I could just keep going down the list. Jesus, Moses, Noah. I mean, all these people received a conscience. Look, Moses is a perfect example. He came from riches. He gave up the riches. He went into poverty. And during poverty, he knew that poverty was suffering. Suffering delivers you to enlightenment. That's why the rich man cannot get to heaven. It's like a camel passing through the eye of a needle. It cannot happen. It's impossible. They're not going. Money is Satanism. It's the upside down cross. If your deity is money, and your deity is a television or a movie star or a church or a religion, then you haven't understood that your life journey is to be like a tree. Reach for the light your entire life. until you die. That tree is reaching for the sun, the God, the Son, Jesus, the Son. The sun walks on water in the evening. Jesus walked on water. When it sets, you see the glistening of the light on the water. Yes, there are miracles with that sun. That sun gives you life. How can you turn against not only your people, the Constitution, your own country, but you literally turn against the sun? You're no longer reaching for the light, you're reaching for the darkness. And these wealthy people are laughing at you on their yachts going, yep, we're going to turn America against America. They're very powerful. We don't want to mess up the infill structure. We want to be able to turn it into an oil refinery, so we want the homes to stay there. We want the buildings. We want the infill structure. We don't want to nuke bomb them. Now, we're probably going to get Russia to send a nuke bomb so that we can create a panic and force all our children into war. That way all the men have to go to another country, and then they can infiltrate you through the banking system. Infiltrate, create a new world order. That's exactly what Vietnam did. While the children were away and everybody was focused on that TV, Vietnam and killing people, then the banks were infiltrating your country and you didn't even know what happened. The fiat currency was born. Your factories, GM and Ford was turned into a military plant. And finally, after Ford's fighting to not take the money of the foreign banks, he was a real American. He didn't want their money, but Vietnam forced him to take that money. And then the mind-altered Etzel, his son, finally got his way because he was whining and dining with these wealthy debutantes. While his daddy was living on a farm, wanting to be a farmer, just like an American Indian. They just wanted to live in harmony and beauty with the land. Ford didn't really care about money. He wanted to create transportation for America. It's so sad that you cannot see and visualize what you're doing if you're a gang stalker. If you signed up for these CIA programs, I'm not going to tell you the name. I know the name. If you're a gang stalker, that's your term. You are going to a very bad place. I don't care how much money you need, how much money your family needs. You make a conscious decision to turn on your own people, your own nation, betray, and to crucify people. What do you think God's going to do? Do you think God really likes people who crucify people? Think about it. Do you think the Father of the Son likes people who crucify people? That's the ultimate test. Are you going to crucify people? I married a woman that crucified me for money because she got in trouble with the law. And the law convinced her to do this, or are they going to throw her in prison? Well, let me tell you, it's better to go to prison, to be able to go to the light when you die. Who cares about these bullies? Do the right thing. God bless.